Alright, so I realized I hadn't done a vlog post in a few weeks, and all in all, they haven't attracted much attention. But I feel like that they're important to share more about my life and what's going on and some of my struggles, like I promised. So today, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an inside look at what really the finances of just ad revenue on a YouTube channel look like. Well, as far as one like mine. I know there's some sectors that ads pay better, and definitely it's not technology. Technology, I think, when I looked at ad revenue, was some of the lowest. So that's definitely a strong hindrance here for what we're doing. And I wanted to also talk about some of the struggles I'm facing as far as building my own business at the time, which was more or less the point of the vlog, I guess. So, as you know, I've been studying for a program called SC Codes, and that's supposed to give me a decent footing of front end and back end development for web development. And I've been working away at that pretty good. I'm almost completed my last final class I need to complete their program for front end development, and I'll move on to back end development at that time because I like to be super well rounded on this stuff. Now, from most of my job searching and stuff, not having a college degree can be a hindrance here, and I've spoken with a lot of mentors and stuff that work as part of my program, and they definitely suggest going into a boot camp program as far as getting employed. I tend to want to work for myself a little bit more. I'm enjoying this. There's definitely some hindrances to it. And I don't know exactly how I'm going to move into that. I'm thinking using some of the freelancing websites like Fiverr or something like that might be a great way to do it. I also have some ideas for some products. I have a fair amount of knowledge in manufacturing as I was a machinist for a number of years, like I've told you guys before. And I necessarily am not scared of manufacturing or even designing parts and components that might be useful for other people. So, with some of my hobbies, I've got ideas about how I'm going to be able to turn that in. Now, I know that I definitely did this backwards from what 99% of people do. They at least have an idea before they jump. And unfortunately, somewhat of my hand was forced to me. But we do have the property management company that is also sucking up a good majority of my time, and it's helping me, along with my wife's incomes, to continue to pay our bills. So, this is definitely still a side hustle for me, just like it's always been, but I do want to see it grow. I would like this to become a part time hustle and not just a full side hustle. So, in a minute here, when I'm done loading my studio view from YouTube, I wanted to give you a little bit of a show of what the studio looks like and kind of everything that goes on. So we're going to switch over here to the desktop. And here's the studio view of YouTube. And you can see here we have 4,266 subscribers at the moment. And I'm averaging over the last 28 days 38,000.5, so 38,500 views. And I think it's actually a little bit more than that if we look when we break this down. And for the last 28 days, we've made $75 on ad revenue. Now, this isn't Amazon affiliates, and to be honest with you, I don't think I've made any money off Amazon affiliate links at all. You can see our last video here is the best video out of the last 10 that I've published. But my average view duration on a 45-minute video is a little less than 5 minutes, and that's disappointing to me. If you guys had any ideas of how I can necessarily make that a little bit better, I've been trying to do better with video editing and definitely taking your suggestions on of trying to cut like white space, which is difficult for me. It's kind of the way I talk. It's who I am. So that's kind of a little bit more difficult for me. But if you had more suggestions, I'd be interested. And as you can see, I did a bit false mouse click here. So let's go ahead and see if we can get back to where we're supposed to be. Okay, so we're back there. Now, if we can go to analytics, we can kind of see some more information here. And yeah, so we're 38,508 views. And yesterday was definitely a pretty good day. We did 1,400 views total. And we're averaging 169 subscribers. And yesterday's total was 10, which is awesome. Thank you guys for subscribing. That's absolutely awesome. So, yeah, that's kind of where we're at the moment. And I've been struggling myself with pushing out content and time management. So I can get lost for days in researching a project, but I also feel a lot of pressure to try to get 3 videos a week out now because with YouTube developing into more of a part time hustle rather than a full on side hustle for me, that means that there's a lot more pressure to make revenue. And generally, it's thought that pushing 3 videos a week is the best way to get that revenue in. And I've definitely seen a $20 a month increase in ad revenue as of lately when we've started pushing 3 videos a week. So there's a lot more pressure there for getting some more of these videos out and getting them out sooner. This makes it a little bit harder on me as I write all my own scripts and do all of my own work here because I need to thoroughly research a video, and I owe it to everybody to have that informative information. After all, we're making tutorials here. So, and really, because we make tutorials, that's kind of the other unnerving. Like, if you're only watching 4 minutes of our video, you're skipping around and you're missing a lot more of that finer information. And I get a lot of comments, praising me on being direct to the point and not talking about things any more than I need to. So I know a lot of my viewers definitely enjoy that. But how can I make them maybe a little less entertaining? A little less like listening to a college professor ramble about a particular topic. We try to make projects, and I try to embed thought processes into actual projects that people want to work on. So you're building out your own project. But I would like to teach more concepts so that you can apply that to something else. And I don't know how, other than talking about the commands and kind of talking about what they do and showing you how they come together, how I can best demonstrate that. So any feedback would be greatly appreciated. I mean, negative feedback is still can be taken constructively most of the time. So, go ahead, drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think better. You've seen some videos driven by comments. I can't always get to all of the comments. I try to get to a large majority of them. And necessarily, if I do a little bit of market research, because YouTube actually has a way of doing a little bit of research into a topic here where we could type something like Proxmox in, and their tool is a little bit glitchy. And it'll kind of give you some information about some of the best things to cover on Proxmox. And I also feel a little bit of need to continuously keep older videos up to date. So that is also happening. Anyways, I just wanted to kind of give you guys a tour of what's going on and talk about my feelings. We're a few weeks out from heading back to the Freedom House, and I got some definite technology up there and some pretty good, exciting projects, as well as some other projects around the house. And I don't know, I would love to share that stuff with the YouTube community. We're going to be working on restoring a 68 Firebird up there, and I plan to use a chemical electrolysis process with borax in order to remove the rust from that frame. And I'm hoping in some way to modify a bottom siphon paint gun into a 360 flexible nozzle for lining the inside of that frame, assuming that we don't find any rust holes. And I've been considering sharing that information on this channel, but where we started out really being an IT channel, I don't know if that's the right place. So I'd love some feedback on that as well. Anyways, the other exciting news, I have a Raspberry Pi 4 and it is a 4 gig here, all heat synced up and ready to go. I have another Raspberry Pi 3B, and this is the one with the Bluetooth and wireless module right here. And I can switch back to the camera view here so you can see me a little bit better. You don't need to see my desktop. So I have that one. And I have another, and this is a 2 gig Raspberry Pi 4 here at the house. Now, the 8 gig for doing Proxmox tutorials ended up not making it, unfortunately, because I know I had a couple of viewers ask me to redo that PyMox video. And actually, I haven't looked at it, I think, in over 2 years now. So it might be kind of exciting to check into that. I don't know. I don't know what the state of VMs are here. We've definitely learned a lot about cloud init and such. And so I don't know if we can now make VMs for the PyMox, and that I haven't really done a lot of looking into it. So that's going to be another video that I'm excited to make once we get back to Maine and we have the resources at the Freedom House that I left there when we headed down here to the golf house. How do you guys also feel about the new backgrounds or thumbnails? We definitely broke with the overall VE theme, and I've noticed that we're actually having more views on videos with these new thumbnails. So I kind of like them. I think they're kind of beachy. They reflect sort of what I'm doing, especially at this time of year. And they're fun to look at. So, how do you guys feel about those? We've definitely seen our top released videos as far as the last 10 videos that we've released, and 4 of them have the new thumbnail styling on them. I don't think I'm going to use it for this video as it's kind of a vlog video, and I want to save that more for maybe the tutorials to keep them separate. But anyways, let me know on what you think about that styling as well. And I look forward to hearing your feedback from the people that follow this vlog. As always, have a good night.